G'day folks, we're back out at Muriwai. The access roads out here have been opened up again. I don't know if the risk of fire has dropped down to an acceptable level or what, but nice to be out. Been down to Kiriatahi a couple of times, but on the whole I actually haven't been doing much fishing, just been busy with the kids and life, which is fine. But yeah, just realised I had a bit of time this evening to pop out. It's just after low tide now, so tide's coming in. We've got a couple of hours before sunset, so I thought I'd head out, you know, throw line in the water and see what happens. So yeah, as per normal for me, a pile of different things to try out and just see what sticks basically. Got an area that seems a bit fishy. I've got seagulls here. I've got food in the forms of pods of shells and stuff left over, so it's good as anything, but we'll try it and can always move out the beach as well. So I watched a few reports where they had rangers and police have been down here checking warrant and rego. I mean, again, it's important to remember that this place is technically a road, so if you've got a vehicle on here, it needs to be warranted and regoed, just like it would be anything on the main road. It always, for me, brings up an interesting conundrum regarding things like quad bikes or even motocross bikes, because actually as a kid I brought the motocross bike up here, but it was actually road legal, had a warrant and rego, so it wouldn't have been an issue. But I guess for the longest of time this was where you would bring such things to get used to and to you know, get comfortable riding basically. Always a case of those few silly people kind of ruin the things, and I can see, you know, just there a couple of 100 meters up, way up there, I can see a lot of donuts basically in loops. So people have been off here for a while, got back on and, you know, getting up those, expressing those pent up emotions by spinning a 1-ton vehicle around in high speed on the sand. Got a 4-ouncer for that. What I'm going to do for this is really have a play. I'm going to put a actual bait. What should we do? Put actual bait on the top, and then I might just put a soft bait on the bottom. See how that goes. So yeah, pink belly shrimp paddle shads. My understanding these, and correct me if I'm wrong, my understanding these will actually get a little bit of action going on without me having to retrieve them like you would normally with a soft bait. It's the theory anyway, we'll see how it works out for me. And I just have essentially a circle hook on this. Well, not essentially, it is a circle hook, so I'm just going to think how I want to kind of rig this up. Hopefully that kind of holds on so it doesn't slide down over the hook. We'll try it in a bit and see how we go with it. And for this one, should we put on? Yeah. And let's put a bit of mullet and a bit of bonito. Not as many vehicles out here as I thought there might be. Which is fine. Going to come up here to get away from the traffic, not be surrounded by it. I've got on the bait runner big long cast, the spare spool that comes with it I've spooled up with some heavier braid, and I'm just going to have a play seeing, really just casting that out and see how far I can cast it with a couple of the bigger poppers. Whoa, hey, okay, well, that gets deeper quicker, cool. So yeah, there's a big hole right there, big hole here, so I think it's going to push me off this bit quite quickly really. That's right, a couple of casts here, see how we go. You know, I'm not, the idea of sort of just stationing myself in one place. I'm not too worried about that. I'm happy to move. Wind's right up my back today. There we go. I recently put the video up where I replaced the washers in this one with the real silk washers, and same as my smaller bait runner. Now I put it on the articles, but it was pointed out to me quite correctly that those washers don't change the bait runner drag, anything to do with that. It's a completely separate system, which is right. It's just kind of, I knew it. I think I just worded it wrong in the video, but it's okay. And then on this one, we're going to put the pulley rig. Some of the astute may note I am wearing shorts today, which is, I knew I was going to be here sort of in the afternoon, late afternoon, evening, so I'm not expecting to get battered as much by the sun. These are the Sims, I don't know, they're the Sims board shorts is what they are, which have been phenomenal. Much like their pants, they're just, I love this stuff, this material. It's got me thinking long and hard about the whole synthetic versus natural, like the merino debate again. This stuff just dries so quick. It's relatively smellless. I say that meaning it's, you know, hasn't been particularly stinky, even if it's been out getting used to fish for a couple of days when I've been away. But light, you know. But yeah, it's the this top. I washed it today because it needed a wash, but by the time it came out of the washing machine, it already feels like it's half dry. It really is quite amazing. And yeah, this leader trace here is, I just found these little bits and pieces in the $2 store, so I thought I'd make something out of that for a laugh, I suppose. Whoop. Oh, put these on backwards. Sort that out, Carrie. Sort it out. Oh, I'm missing. I'll see what's going on here. Missing a hook, or a swivel hook I should say. Grab one of those. I certainly understand and appreciate the notion of less stuff in your rigs is better, but at the same time I do like a certain level of convenience. All of us, I'm inherently lazy. So quick attach, quick release for things like swivels and stuff. I always like the idea of. And on this one, I've tied a, what's it called, an egg knot or an egg loop. I've just been playing around with different knots just at home practicing. So I quite like the idea of this. It's essentially a snell, but there's a loop in there, and what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to put on a bit of I'm going to put on one of the soft bait crabs, but I'm actually going to put a bit of, I don't know, what am I going to put a bit of, mussel maybe, something like that, and sit it up there behind it. Don't fall down on me, thank you. Yeah. One of my earlier videos, I basically foul hooked a couple of crabs out here while throwing the jigs about. So I thought, well, that would make sense then to use a crab as a potential bait, wouldn't it? So I'm going to try that today as well. Sitting on there to look crabby. What I'm also going to do is bring this loop out, and essentially loop in just a little bit of actual bait just in the top, just to see how it goes. I'll be honest, I'm here to get some sun, to enjoy the UV, to throw lines out a bit. Fish really are going to be the bonus. So thanks very much to the guys who've been in contact and said they enjoyed the videos. Bit of a longer format, I realise, more talking, more thoughts, but you know, that's me, it's what I do. Wind coming directly behind me here. Let's go over this way. Okay, so swell is looking like it's going left to right based on to where I cast and where that's ended up. Ooh. The adjustment on the drag on this bait caster is very fast. I think over to the right is more where I might want to be for this, but that's alright. We'll start out here, see how we go. Oh, that didn't go far at all. What happened there? Oh, apparently you need to lift the bail arm up on this thing. Pop? Yeah, it did pop. Okay. Let's take a step out of here before I get myself in the next lot of waves. Hook this back into here, holds that nicely, there we go. Oh, it's Gumby. Okay. Time our waves a little bit. Terrible cast, but got a bit of distance out of it. Oh, that wind is blowing good. Okay, I lost the line. Well, worth noting, the pen is apparently more water resistant, waterproof than the Shimano is, so of all the ones to happen to, it's probably my preference. I'll be getting a good clean out though tonight, tomorrow. Let's push this guy right down. In there. Okay. Sort this guy out. I doubt that was a strike, but That'd be entertaining. Let's get a spike right down. This has been fantastic. Works perfectly for this. We're still trying to figure out what to do in regards to when they head up Coromandel, because they can't sit up that high. Because if anyone's ever been up the Thames coastline, they'll know there's lots of overhanging trees. And that particular Veritas in it is not going to do well. When I saw Alex at Marine Deals, we had to play a few bits and pieces. But the issue being, because of that truck, the bull bars on it, it's got such a boxy nose on it, basically, that to get it to clear that, even if we put it up on the top, we're looking at rail blazers, putting rail blazers on the bonnet, but the angle still means the thing's going to be a couple of meters higher than the truck, which, you know, is not really what I'm after. Well, that's going to reduce my chances not having a hook on there. I think my perfect loop, which I'm tying on there, is proving to be less than perfect. Prefer not to be losing any tackle into the sea like that. Is less than ideal. I was actually thinking just some solid rings might be a good option for it. Tie off into that and clip onto it. It'd be a nice solid connection. Still good for quickly changing over when I want to change baits. I like the idea of running two of them sometimes and just changing the baits over that way. I realise it's hard to argue that I'm tying the knot right when it's coming off. So, is it loosely held strong beliefs rather than strongly held loose beliefs? Also replaced the line roller here on this recently. This is my old reel, which, to be fair, hasn't, you know, always been looked after as well as it could have been. Yeah, that was an easy fix. Just a spare. Boys at Marine Deals ordered it in from Shimano. All of 5 minutes and a single Phillips screwdriver, and that was done. I don't know if I'd really noticed the nicks or anything out of my line, but it was basically the chroming. I'm assuming it's chrome. The covering had come off, so, you know, potential for not good things to be happening. Now, I don't claim to know much of anything about this. I really don't. So, you know. I would have thought a solid ring straight onto there rather than a split ring might be the better option. I'll have a read up on that. I'm obviously not expecting like kingies or anything like that, really just the potential for a kahawai. It's mooching around. It's quite light compared to some of the others. See how far I can even cast this thing. If you remember, as I started here today, there was holes right in front of me that were just closing up. So all I'm really doing here is just going to cast through here a little bit. See if anything is enticed. I'll try not to retrieve it straight in my face. Should be less than ideal when it skips out of the water. But I might grab one of the others that sinks a little bit rather than a surface. Just get it down a little bit in the water column, whereas unless I'm pulling this is floating on top. Like I said before, I'm really just having a play here. Got some stuff done today. I'm going to have a bit of a play. Holy popo. Guess there's one good thing about driving this truck is I very rarely get stopped by officers for that sort of thing. I don't know, is it because they know that I'm going to have a warrant of rego, or they just know that it's I'm not going to be speeding up the beach? I don't know. So someone might be able to tell me, is a bait cannon or cannon caster, I forget what they're called, is that like considered the same as just going with a super lightweight trigger before you even have any idea how to correctly pull a trigger? I don't know. I tell everyone not to, you know, strap all the gizmos and everything onto their rifles, having done it and then pulled them all back off, but of course I do the same thing to my rods and reels as I figure that out. But hey, whoa, what the hell was that? Okay, I just took off. What did I take off? Took off most of my tackle. Okay, I'm going to see if I can get those. It snapped at my dropper loop. It's interesting. It's not really a knot that should snap right there. I'm saying it did. It obviously did. Let's see if we can retrieve that tackle. I know roughly where it went. I'm obviously a little dubious about walking through water that's now got two hooks sitting in there, but it's possibly not that deep. Let's see if we can spot this. There we are. Wait, there it is. Well, I'll tell you what is interesting. It's a good observation of what's happening with the soft bait here. We are getting a bit of movement out of it. So it snapped. Yeah, and I've actually got some abrasion going on there as well, just up here, which I wonder was the same thing. I wonder is the same thing that's happened up here. I'm not sure why, maybe it's been rubbing against the truck or something. It's a bit odd. So I've possibly done it without putting that the bail arm open again, so my bad on the cast, but should probably have just swung around, not actually snapped off. Just going to retie it with some new leader. I don't need to be that precious, about 300-400 ml of leader. If it means that I'm potentially shortcutting the knot itself, that doesn't make sense. Do need to be a bit careful doing that because those shears probably would cut the top of the hook off. So this one's almost going to be a bit of a seafood smorgasbord, but we're going to have to get the bait cutting out for this, because it's not going to hold together otherwise. See if I can snap this with another shit cast. Oh yep, bail arm, there we go. Gotta remember to do that. Figured out what my kryptonite is. I mean, you know, when I remember to do the basics, it all works okay. I know it might seem like I spend a lot of my time just tying and sorting tackle, but don't worry, I spend plenty of time just staring at the top of the rods as well. Don't spend a lot of time hauling fish in, which is something I still need to work on. Combination of time and place, I believe. Doesn't matter what you put into the water, if there's not fish there, there's not fish there. Which I have to observe is probably the bigger issue I've got. This is really just me a proof of concept here. Heading away Coromandel soon, just want to check. I braided this spool up recently and just want to check it's all good. I've got like 60-pound braid, 100-pound leader. I don't really think I need it for the car wire that might be out here, if there's anything at all. But just kind of want to see and confirm that it's all working like I think it is. I mean, you know, surf stick baiting, I guess. I assume I am on the ground, actually. Alright. So, cast cannon is actually not ideal for this. I don't know, I'm not going to remove it. May have to get just a top water rod just for this, because this is going to be a little bit ridiculous otherwise. Oh.